So welcome everyone to this Virtual Events Institute fireside chat with networker and event industry connector extraordinaire, Trevor Foley. Trevor, welcome.
Thank you very much, Simon. Nice to see you.
You too. Trevor, you talk to a lot of people. It's kind of your modus operandi, a lot of people in the industry. What's your sense of what the business leaders in the world of events think currently?
Obviously, it's been a bad week, courtesy of our government's decisions, but there is positivity around, fun enough, even the US at the moment, the feeling that once the election's out the way, that the US market will open up more. A lot of the shutdowns there are politically motivated. So all of a sudden, sentiment's changed on the US market. Asia, as we've seen, lots of pictures on LinkedIn of very full, normal-looking exhibitions in China this week, and the challenges are all in the UK at the moment. And but I see a renewed fight this week. We realise we've got to really scrap, and let's scrap.
Yeah, one of the things that struck me about the whole pandemic and the way the event industry has responded is that we've shown remarkable resilience in every sector of the industry. And people are experiencing enormous pain and great challenge at the moment. But actually there is a sense of trying to pull together and make the collective mean something.
No question. It's and I see it within companies as well. I've spoken to MD CEOs who are saying if there were silos in their businesses before, there aren't now. Everybody working together, whatever sector, whatever shows they're in, whether it's that transition to digital, that there's a real spirit of coming together in the industry and outside the industry. It's just, I guess a lot of people you'd expect to put their head above the parapet have, and just haven't disappointed. And we're just working. We all believe we'll find a solution, and let's hope we find it before spring next year as well.
Do you think something that you and I have talked about for the length of our career working together, which is 25 years now? We've often talked about the silos, not just within trade shows and business to business events, but across that wider piece of the event industry. So we're starting to walk into festivals and sports events and theatre. Do you think that some of those silos have been broken by what we've experienced? And is that a good thing?
I don't think they've really been broken yet. We now realise we've got a joint fight on our hands. I'm kind of summarising that as entertainment venues and business venues, and I think there's some more work to do, particularly in the associations. For them to come together and add up all their numbers, and and that might be a stronger case to present to government. But it'll come. It has to come. We're in a circumstances that make it essential that happens.
Right, and some of that is because there are individuals. We have to remember, for all the big numbers about the working population in our industry, many of those people at a personal level are suffering hugely at the moment with redundancies or reduced income. So you and Liz Sinclair of ESP Recruitment have created the new Model Army as a way of combating this. Tell us about that, what that's all about.
Yeah, well, I guess when the name popped into my head, it was a really obvious one to go for. The industry will be looking at a new model at the other side of this. I think sales, as one example, will be much more outsourced in the same way that operations happened in the last 5-10 years. And sadly, there's an army of people that need to adjust their sights and be ready for a new challenge when we come out the other side of this. So that's the motivation. And just talking to so many people on a daily basis that are affected by this, they realise there's a need to change their skill sets. They need to be ready for a different type of work, which will be much more contract, freelance, temporary roles than walking back into an employed situation. So that's the motivation.
And these are people, our industry is full of great talent, great energy, great imagination, great invention, a huge, incredible expertise and self-confidence to do the kind of things that our industry does. What's the new Model Army going to do to help repurpose this incredible resource?
I think two things. You hit the nail on the head. The incredibly talented people that have lost their roles for no other reason than COVID-19. And I guess one of the motivations was that I had CEOs calling me and saying, we've had to let some people go. That these in particular are very special. You know, if we can't use them in the future, that other organisations should be able to use this talent. So you know, that's one side, and the other side is just, you know, that realization among those people that although they've been in the industry some time, although they've got certain skill sets, they need some new ones, and upskilling is such a fundamental part of this. And so that's what we're trying to help, and just help people get ready.
And so one of the very exciting things that we've been able to collaborate on is a strategic partnership between New Model Army and the Virtual Events Institute to help with that reskilling. Do you think that this is a crucial moment for the industry in terms of the way it really adopts digitization and understands what technology means for us in terms of opportunity rather than threat?
Yep, digitalization is where it's at. I've got all sorts of companies talking to me about data, virtual, digital, you know, working it out for themselves. You know, I'm very much of the analog generation, and a number of my peers in the industry are very analog, and so it's a learning process for all of us, but also one where I guess we've been forced in the same way that the publishing industry was forced to address this, to work out how to digitalize and use those things together. It's not either or, you know. And I think probably my most positive message is that people feel the evidence is that shows will come back strongly. It'll come back fast. It'll come back strong, because exhibitors, whilst they are engaging and they're spending money in the digital world and digital events, they also want to meet. They want to get back together. So, you know, I think the two together will be awesome.
I think it's a truism that means we can overlook it, that the power of our industry has been in bringing people together and in creating communities. And it seems to me that what this moment does, and what technology does at this moment, is show us how technology plus real life experience combined can create a greater community. And one of the challenges before is we've seen technology as simply a layer dropped on top of a physical event, and actually we turn that through 90 degrees, and technology is integrated with the physical event, and your audience can be both localized and dispersed, and your engagement can be across platforms. I really hope that hybrid doesn't just mean old school events with a bit more tech thrown at them. I hope it means that wonderful human to human connection we've always been able to make with technology woven into it. That's what I think the Virtual Events Institute is all about, equipping our industry with the skill set to deliver the value it always did in the new world.
Yeah, it can't just be dropped on top. The word I keep hearing is integration, and if we integrate properly, the meetings at events will be less random. You know, there'll be much more productivity comes out of that, far more connections. You know, there'll always be serendipity. You know, there'll always be that that chance meeting, that chance encounter, which we all love. And you know, I just think it will be stronger out the other end of this. It's horrible, it's painful at the moment, and there is an uphill challenge. But you know, I think the other end of it will look pretty good.
And all those people now who are in challenging circumstances, who want to connect with you at New Model Army and access the webinars or the CV writing skills, or perhaps apply for one of the cohort to join the Virtual Events Institute program, where should they go to? Where will they find your presence on the World Wide Web?
Driving engagement through LinkedIn, search up New Model Army, you'll find it. The website is being built. It will have the functionality to allow those looking for a role with those searching for people at the other end. The web address, not ready yet, but will be nma.events.
Okay, and in the meantime, engage with the community on LinkedIn for sharing ideas and all the information.
That's it.
Brilliant. Trevor, thanks so much for being here.
My pleasure. Cheers, Simon. Bye.